Hi there, my name is Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell when you're notified, to be notified, not when you're notified, to be notified when new videos drop. And I would say one of the central thesis of this channel, thesis, I don't know how to pluralize thesis. I would say one of the central thesis of this channel, actually, this channel, of me. There's no real division. We're the same thing. The channel and me is kind of, we're kind of, what you see is what you get. That's what I'm trying to say. One of the central thesis of it is, this cultural divide that we're seeing, this cultural divide, and what I think is really breathtakingly terrible behavior that we really do see from the SJW side of the equation. And it really, I try and be as open-minded and forgiving and understanding as possible. It's just terrible. Bottom line, it's just terrible behavior. So I think the terrible behavior, where does this come from? How does this happen? Because I can't do these things. It's like, it's beneath me to do this. And so my thesis is this, that it all stems from 3 generations of terrible parenting, where things that you should have learned when you're 5 or under, literally 5 or under, were never learned. These life lessons were never learned, like get over things, like don't have simmering resentments. Like when you're 5 and you're in kindergarten and you get in a little spat, with young Timmy who's next to you, whatever it is, it is not taught you. If it is taught you, like, hang on to that resentment, hang on to that anger, and try and destroy them, crush them, and make them want to kill themselves. Yeah, if you're taught that, that's probably a bad thing. But that's basically where they are. They're not into the idea of, like, a couple of days later, let's get over it and, like, laugh things off and play together. No, they are not into that at all. So the life lesson that you should have learned by the time you were 5 and you didn't, in this case, I think we're seeing with these riots, and it's just terrible things. So we'll say is that 2 wrongs do not make a right. 2 wrongs do not make a right. So so that's what we're going to be discussing. But before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit that subscribe button? I'm like 20 subscribers away from 1,000 subs. That'd be fantastic. Thank you so much. And I want to entreat you to subscribe to the channel, but I'm doing it kind of pathetically this week. I give stuff away each week on the channel, and the thing I was giving away last week was so much better. I actually feel kind of bad. Here, this is what I gave away last week, which I've really got to mail out. It is the Ultimate Matrix DVD box set. It's like 6 or 8 discs. It's freaking fantastic. So actually, I won't run for 2 weeks. But what I'm giving this week, I just pulled out. I have a stack of movies which I bought on DVD and I've subsequently bought on Blu-ray. I'm a big believer in the physical media. I do like that. But I don't need the DVD anymore. So I picked one out from the stack, which I thought, oh, that's a great movie. Everyone's gonna. And then I realized you can probably pick this up for like $2.99 from any bargain. But still, everybody likes to win stuff. Winning stuff is fun. So what is this movie that we're giving away this week? It is the classic, a movie that everybody should have in their collection. The original Spider-Man from 2002. Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire, a 2-disc DVD set. And this is from a time when they made DVDs that were, when they packed them out with good stuff. There is tons and tons of like making ofs and documentaries and really interesting good stuff on this SFX, just commentaries. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being the very important part of that equation. Subscribe to the channel and then leave the hashtag in the comments, webhead. Hashtag webhead. Go and look at the video notes. It will give you everything you need to know. Also, in the video notes, there is a science fiction audio story you can download called The Tomorrow People, The New God. So what that is, Tomorrow People is a English TV show from the 1970s, which I really enjoyed. Oh, so much fun. And then this company called Big Finish got the rights to do an audio version of it in the early 2000s, probably the same time the Spider-Man came out, right? And so they did like 3 or 4 seasons. They're really good, and I really, really like them. But then they lost the license because the company who owned them, who owned the Tomorrow People, wanted to go off and make a new TV show. They went off and made a new TV show. It sucked. It was cancelled after a year, but Big Finish haven't been able to get the rights back. So, but the upshot is, you can't get these anymore. You cannot buy them legally anywhere for love nor money. Well, we probably can for money if you look on eBay. Anyway, so just go through the video notes. You can download it there. And I would recommend, if you do download it, you do listen to it, and you do enjoy it, and if, in some incredible chance that Big Finish gets the rights back, I will tootle over to their website and I will buy yourself a digital copy. So everything is nice and kosher. So, what is not nice and kosher? The world. Right now, the world is not nice and kosher. And the basic lesson I think we're looking at that people have not been able to assimilate in their life is two wrongs do not make a right. So the first wrong is obviously the murder of Floyd. Oh, what's his name again? His murder. With murder, listen. I don't want to be pejorative. I don't want to give judgment on things I really don't know about. It seemed to me to be an unlawful killing. I have no idea, like what the classification. Although I'm really careful nowadays to like not jump to not leap to judgment unless I really have first-hand knowledge. So that was the first wrong. The second wrong was then wholesale destruction. Wholesale destruction is also wrong. Burning down people's businesses and livelihood, that's called wrong. You shouldn't do that. Two wrongs do not make a right. That's going to be the ongoing theme of this. So the third wrong of this is the media, who was completely in the bag for these riots. They love the misery of the riots because they just don't like the president at all, and they want anything to make him look bad. But oh god, guys, really, this is all just going to backfire like so mad. I mean, listen, how many times have we told you the same thing? Really? How you like the Mueller investigation? Guys, this is going to backfire. No, you won't listen. Fine, this is all going to backfire. Resist. It's all going to backfire, and it's going to just wherever you are on the political spectrum. I see little to no chance of the incumbent president not remaining president after November, assuming there are elections and the country isn't engulfed in flame by that time. So that's the second one. So the third wrong is the media. As I say, the media that lie blatantly about these terrible wrong things, all these violence, because the media. They know that two wrongs don't make a right, so they can't report it honestly, but they don't want to report it disparagingly, which I think you just have to if you're being honest about it. So they call them peaceful protesters. Peaceful protesters. Okay, so the last time I heard the phrase peaceful protesters was it 2016, 2017, or maybe in 2018? Summer, it was Gaza. I live in Israel, Gaza, and according to the BBC, CNN, there were peaceful protesters protesting against Israel at the border of Gaza, and then they were indiscriminately shot and murdered by brutal Israeli oppressive forces. No. Okay, so I'll tell you, this is what I know from first-hand knowledge, first-hand freaking knowledge. Okay, they weren't peaceful protesters; they were a violent, racist, Jew-hating mob that wanted to murder Jews. That's just what it was. Yeah, and there's no grey area on their social media, which is still up. These posts are still available in Arabic, but these posts are still available. They talk about making the street run red with Jewish blood, and they distributed maps to the nearest Jews they could get to, like about a 10-minute run if they were. If they crossed into Israel, and equally marked off on there are kindergartens, because like the sweetest kind of dead Jews to these people, the sweetest kind, the ones they love most are dead Jewish children. That's what. But now the media call them peaceful protesters, and again, this is just these are the facts of the matter. So just to finish off that story, there are two lines of defense against these against that Jew-hating murderous mob. There was the fence and the army, right? There are your two lines of defense, right? And the army, the rules of engagement, the army was not allowed to open fire unless the mob crossed over the fence, and they were the last line of defense, and there was a credible threat to human life because of the incredible amount of lies that are told, and these are racist lies that are told about Israel. The whole incident was completely documented on video, because we can't have you guys go, oh look, you're murdering innocent. So just as a complete aside, the way they stopped the murdering, this Jew-hating mob break into Israel, murder as many Jews as they could was they had to kill a lot of people. Basically, bottom line, it was tank fire. The tank had in a mob of 20,000 people, they'd located a Hamas command post, and they fired a tank shell into the command post, right into the Hamas, into that, basically in a mob, a seething mob of people. And out of the 20,000, they received, there was 97 people killed, 100%, 100% military casualties, 0% civilian casualties. That was just kind of impressive. But again, the point is, they were not peaceful protesters. Two wrongs don't make a right. So so we're on to three wrongs right now. Three wrongs is the murder of the gentleman Floyd, whatever his name is, the violent riots, and the lies of the media. So that's the three wrongs. So and then from the three wrongs we get a fourth wrong. The fourth wrong is the vile virtue signaling of Hollywood. There's so much of it. I didn't know, I was going to do a bit generated, but there was one so egregious, so disgusting, so awful that I thought, we really have to talk about it. That is the response of J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is coming to save black people. Good for you, black people. J.J. Abrams coming to save you. Now, I will point out that if you do have a bit of melatonin in your skin, I will have a quick look at Star Wars and Star Trek, both of which J.J. Abrams came in to save, and it didn't do so good. So listen, mate, I would suggest to tell J.J., listen, we got this one. We're cool. We don't need your help, because I would not like to see what J.J. did to Star Trek and Star Wars being done to black people as well. That would be bad. Okay, that would be not good. So he came to save black people. By Instagram. That's quite impressive. He can save black people via Instagram. Let's see what he had to say. Doink. This is his statement. Enough is enough. Now, much like J.J. Abrams' movies, starts off pretty darn good. I like the Star Trek 2009. Starts off pretty darn good. Enough is enough. I agree with you. Enough is enough. This is crazy. It's a cycle of violence. Enough is enough. Fine. Great start there, J.J. Enough police brutality. Okay, well, I think you're focusing on the wrong thing there. And I'm not saying police brutality doesn't exist. Obviously, it does exist, but I don't think it's. I met many cops, and they never strike me as being abnormally brutal people. Yes, you have some cops which are brutal. Yeah, but I mean, the real point here is. Who is on board for police brutality? Who wakes up in the morning and goes, "Oh man, I hope the police are particularly brutal today, and I hope they're brutal against people basing it on their skin color." That's what I don't know anybody who does that. I think there may be one or two, some people, but I think they're a statistically insignificant number. So then you get to part three. Part three is where you may start to vomit in your own mouth, but hold back, because part five. That's when it goes insane. Part three is enough outsized privilege. Oh, really, JJ? Who has outsized privilege? Who exactly has this outsized privilege that you're talking about? I'll tell you who. You do. You do. Nobody bloody else. Yeah. Okay, JJ. If you gave away 99% of your money, right, and influence and power, you would still be more rich and powerful than the vast majority of people in the world. Okay? If you want to do that, listen. If you want to, really get rid of your money, have enough that you could live on, I don't know, whatever a $60,000 a year income, which is still not bad. Yeah, not bad in modern. You want to do that? Oh man, see, that's not virtue signaling. That's called being virtuous. This is called virtue signaling, because you're not virtuous. And this is what people who aren't virtuous do to make themselves feel like they're virtuous. Enough polite conversation. Yes, we need riots, we need violence, we need destruction. But JJ, do you want it by you as well? Well, how would you feel if we broke in, if a mob broke into your gated neighborhood, which I'm no doubt you live in, but, and burned down your home and your livelihood? How would you feel? Would you be like, well, just enough is enough? I can't, enough polite conversation. I'm glad they destroyed my life. Is that what you'll be saying? No, you'll be losing your shit, because the one thing I've always noticed about you virtual signaling piece of the crap, you cannot stand experiencing what you're happy to see other people experience. Okay, so now it goes into just another dimension. Enough white comfort. If you're white, you can't be comfortable. JJ, that is called racism. And again, your white comfort is actually called Hollywood. Hollywood is a horribly bigoted and racist place. It's a terribly bigoted and racist place full of many, many levels of abuses. Only Me Too could come out of Hollywood. So again, are you talking about the destruction of you? Because your lack of self-awareness at this point is just it's, I would say astonishing, but it's too disgusting for words. Enough lopsided access. Again, you're talking about you. It's you who have lopsided access. America is kind of a unique country in that you don't need to have a powerful parents or come from a wealthy family to be successful. You need to be able to work hard. You need to accept upon yourself that you're going to work and not put up with not put up with failure. And if you do that, you will be rewarded with a greater degree of success. More often than not, it's not a universal system, but almost more often than not, enough lopsided access, enough exhausting our friends and colleagues. Oh, are they exhausting? Is it exhausting for you? Oh dear. Oh, well, yeah. You know what might also exhaust it? What is exhausting? A normal job. Go try cleaning floors, and then you can talk about exhausting. Go try working a 12-hour shift. Then you can know about exhausting. Why didn't you volunteer for the medical services and put in a 12-hour nursing shift, and then talk about exhausting? But while you're experiencing your outside privilege during your polite conversations and your white frickin' comfort, maybe you want to keep quiet about you being exhausted. Enough of being incurious. What? Now I don't even know what you're talking about, you idiot. Enough of being unintentional. Again, you're talking about Hollywood. Okay, I understand that black people get a raw deal in Hollywood because you're. And I'm not going to say you're racist. Not just you're racist. It's that you are terrible, terrible human beings. How terrible human beings? You're so terrible that you don't know that two wrongs do not make a right. Enough being unintended. Enough injustice. Again, JJ, I think it's enough death. Okay, fine. Stop death. No more death anymore. We're gonna stop death forever for everyone, apart from white people, because we don't want there to be too much white comfort. Oh, enough. Okay, JJ, I have to tell you something. Enough. Just enough. Enough. We've had enough of you. You've been a gnawing, annoying presence on the entertainment scene for decades. We've had enough. So, had this been all he wrote, I would have gone, okay, that's pretty darn awful. That's pretty a breathtaking lack of self-awareness. But wait, there's more. And we go, doink. Oh, there we go. Let's read his more in-depth statement. We at Bad Robots are grateful to the many scholars, activists, organizers, and leaders fighting on the front lines of change in our systematically unjust country. Okay, so okay, these are not scholars, activists, organizers, and leaders. These are hoodlums. These are criminals. These are terrible human beings, and you do not live in a systematically unjust society, in a systematically unjust country. Can you give me any citation? What again? I'm saying yes. There are communities that are more prone to criminality. That is a fact, and I know it's an uncomfortable fact, but that is a fact. And again, I think those communities are more prone to criminality more because of left-wing policies designed to keep them crippled, designed to keep those cynically designed, purposely designed to keep those communities under their thumb, voting for them. I believe Candace Owens. I believe Candace Owens when she says the greatest problem for the African American community in America is absentee fathers, and absentee fathers is not so. I don't believe criminality. I don't believe family. I don't believe responsibility is in any way regulated by one's skin color. It's absolutely not. But when you have cynical, evil politicians that will systematically abuse a community to keep them under their thumb, which is what they're doing, which is what the entitlement program that the Democrats are so addicted to. They're addicted to it because they want to keep them disadvantaged, because they want to keep black people at the bottom rungs of society. I'm saying the Democratic Party loved slavery back in the day, and they still love their damn slavery. So yeah, I think that is a systematically unjust aspect of your country, the Democratic Party. It is that constellation of thinkers and doers. Again, they're setting fire to frickin' churches! They're stealing Nikes! These are not scholars! This is a lie! 2 wrongs do not make a right, 3 wrongs do not make a right, 4 wrongs do not make a right! Who have the blueprint to a more perfect, fair, equitable, and kind union. Yeah, and that would start with your babbing up against the wall first, mate. That's what would happen. In this fragile time, words matter. And why are you not calling for peace and calm and unity? Because you hate one politician. That's why. And that's why you're happy to see all this destruction go on. And that's why you're happy to see this misery, this cycle of misery, keep going over and over again. Because you think it's going to give you what you want, but it's not. Because you're a freaking idiot. You're a freaking idiot that didn't learn basic lessons that you should have learned when you were 5. Words matter. Listening is critical. Can you hear me, mate? Yeah? Can you hear me? Listen up. An investment is required. Okay, so now we get into the real virtue signaling. The centuries-long neglect and abuse of our black brothers and sisters. No, there's not firstly, not neglect. They were a commodity when they were slaves, okay? They weren't neglected. They were abused, but they were a valuable commodity. They were far from neglected, but they were certainly abused. But hey, guys, slavery's been over for quite a while now, and I agree with you. It was a terrible institution, which I do not support. Racism is still a factor in the country, but really not so much. I ask anyone watching this video right, I ask you, do you actually know somebody who doesn't like someone because of their skin color? Do you actually know somebody like that? No, I don't. I totally don't. I'm sorry. I've never met them. Actually, not true. That's not true. One time when I was about 15, I was at a cafe with a friend of mine, and they didn't know. Thank God they didn't know I was Jewish. They would have beat the crap out of me. A couple of people come in, this guy and his girlfriend, super racist. Okay, they're talking about how this group of people and this group. I'm like, okay, we left. Okay, stick that way, because that's the only time I can bloody think of. And it was like, how old are they? Like 35 years ago, one time. So your centuries long, please, what barrier to entry is there to anything based on one's skin color? Just explain it to me. What barrier to entry is there? Can only be addressed by scalable investment. Yeah, he's basically saying he's giving money to a charity, and I'm the bestest ever. Oh, look at me! Massive and thoughtful overhaul of tax policy, one that is effectively meets the needs of the many in this country, and not just a few. As long as overdue. Well, really? So why aren't you voting for Trump then? I'm sorry, the prison reform bill was specifically designed, and it was the only thing that's been done, I think, ever to break the cycle of poverty that the African American community has been placed in, and has been placed in chains in by the frickin' leftists, by the Democrats. As long as and I'm sorry to tell you this, but Donald Trump, that guy who you think is the that nationalist socialist leader from Germany in the 1930s, reborn, he has doubled the support of any Republican president by the African American community. You know why? You know why he has doubled support? Because they fared a lot, but like every part of the country has fared far better under his presidency than anybody else's. I know that sticks in your throat. I know you hate that, but it's still the facts. They still have double the support. He still has double that support. So then it gets really gross. It talks about everything they're giving to. Oh no, there's more bullcrap. Corporate and private philanthropy can never achieve the impact needed to address these systematic inequities. What systematic inequities are there? Other than Hollywood producers are 90% white and they program for white people, right? Unless they get caught out, and then they're embarrassed, and then they put like whatever dark skin color they can at the Oscars. Really? Yeah, I think these inequities are sociological, and they're sociological from the highest ends of society and the leftist wings of society. But companies and individuals are able to must do what we can until our political leaders lead. You piece of shit! Really? Okay. You're talking about a $10 million worth of charity giving over the next 5 years. That's not even enough. I've seen your financials. That's not even enough to give you a tax break. You're making so much money. If you're not a Hollywood arsehole, $10 million over 5 years translates to about $20 to $30. I'm not exaggerating. That's the scale we're dealing on. That's how little he's doing. Between Bad Robot and Katie McGrath and the J.D. Abrams Family Foundation. Here's a hint for you. If you got a family foundation, you might be a little bit guilty of oversized privilege. You may just be a smidgen guilty of oversized privilege. We are committing to an additional $10 million over the next 5 years. Okay, all this is tax. It's costing him nothing. This is all tax breaks. He has to do it. To organization efforts committed to anti-racist agendas. Oh, you mean Hollywood? Is this? Are there any of these organizations built around destroying Hollywood? Lift the poor and build a just America for all. We are humbled to announce. Oh God! Bleh! You're not humbled. You're actually stroking yourself off as you're reading. Oh yeah, we're humbled. Oh, we're humbled because we're so freaking good. Oh yeah, we're humbled to announce initial investment. Oh yeah, of $200K of the following organization. Black Futures Lab. Never heard of it. I've got nothing to say about it. Black Lives Matter LA. You know, when you want civil disobedience, but you want a latte as well. Black Lives Matter LA. Community Coalition. People Power Progress. I wonder. I wonder if they help out small Christian communities. Maybe. No, I don't think so. I guess they focus more on other communities, shall we say. Equal Justice Initiative. No, you don't. You know what Equal Justice is. Again, you want to end that white privilege. Know Your Rights Camp. Okay, great, whatever. Oh God, I can't go on. Okay, fine. So that's everything he's giving to. Yeah, I'm going to end on a story. I'm going to end on the story. And it's something that's always struck me. There's this. I wasn't always religious. I got brought. I was brought up. I was like a normal secular Jewish person in England. And around the age 20, I became religious. And about 15 years later, I finished in a rabbinical seminary. I became a rabbi. I was married. I moved to America. But I wasn't. I was very idealistic. I wasn't part of like the main. This was my first entry into like the mainstream religious Jewish world in America, which was very different from what the more idealistic world I've been used to. And on Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year, which is a big day in the Jewish calendar, they had this thing called an appeal, and I'd never seen it before, which is where the president of the synagogue gets up and he says, "The shul needs money. We all need." So I just figured people were going to give silent donations. People were just going to, okay, fine. But no, they then, everybody said their pledges that they were giving to the shul, and they read them out. I was like, what? Listen, it's good to give charity. Giving charity is a fantastic thing, and it's not just something for the rich, no matter where you are in life. If it's something that I recommend, it's good for you more than anything else. It's just a good thing to do. Whatever you can do, you should do. Giving charity is a great thing. But taking credit for giving charity, I thought was vile. I was watching it, and I was amazed that they were encouraging people to give charity by reading out their donations, so people could take pride, take egotistical pride in their charitable donations. And I think that in itself cancels out the good of the freaking charity, or at least some of it, of the charitable donation. So this, I think, seems being exactly the same. And it really made me, I thought that was just vile. I thought it was just vile, and I thought it was wrong. Yeah, it's yeah. Fortunately, I haven't seen that, but it's a very New Yorky thing, from what I understand. But I haven't seen it that often since. But it is exactly the same way, and it's just utterly vile. We're going to be talking about this a lot more tonight when I'm on a live stream. It's the live at 5 if you're in the UK. Or whenever, so wherever you are in the world. We're going to talk this, the death of Doctor Who magazine, and Henry Cavill returning to the role of Superman. My name is Sheila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.